Thank you for what you said. Thank you for your comments. I cannot begin to imagine how difficult this is for you. The argument, and I know there's no malintent to it, that we would risk federal or state funding if I don't sign up for this. It is a tumultuous day and age, and this is a day I hate sitting in this seat, but my city's not for sale.
Several days later.
Florida's Attorney General James Uthmeier says city council members down in Fort Myers are, quote, breaking the law. That is because the city council recently voted down an immigration agreement between ICE and the local police department down there. And the question is, what happens next? Uthmeier says potentially removal.
Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Monday night, Fort Myers City Council rejected a 287G agreement between police and federal immigration officials, a deal that would have bolstered officer training, allowing them to help with detainment and deportation.
Motion fails 3-3.
That split vote came after several members, through tears, felt the change could lead to racial profiling and hurt more than help.
I can't stand behind this as an immigrant, the only immigrant sitting in this council.
It's a decision that may soon have dire consequences. So says Florida's Attorney General James Uthmeier.
By preventing law enforcement from doing that, they are breaking the law.
The state's top cop sending this letter to the council saying the move violates Florida's ban on sanctuary city policies. Without a reversal, Uthmeier warns, penalties are coming.
What kind of penalties could they face? Because it looked like it was civil, it could be criminal.
Yeah, I mean, there are civil penalties certainly laid out there. The governor has suspension powers, so he's proven he's not one to sit on his hands too long. If they're standing in the way and they're preventing law enforcement from participating, he typically will take people out of that position and get somebody in that's willing to do their job. So we're looking at all options. Again, we put them on notice, but we're not going to wait long. If they don't immediately correct their problem, we will take action.
What is the timeline there? What is immediate to you?
Stay tuned.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to follow up on a story that I covered just a few days ago involving a woke city council out of Fort Myers, Florida, that decided to vote against allowing ICE to train local police officers to deport illegal immigrants, right? Basically, ICE would be training certain police officers in the area to be able to deal with illegal immigrants, okay? And the woke city council said, no, we don't want to allow this to happen. We do not want to help law enforcement enforce laws because of racism, hate, and bigotry.
Fort Myers City Council members had to choose whether to allow some FMPD officers to be trained by ICE in order to enforce immigration laws. Chief Fields argued that this is necessary for handling situations involving illegal immigrants.
This is not to develop a task force or team to out and actively seek out illegal immigrants. It's training officers so that when an officer comes in contact with someone who's violating the law and now they determine that they're illegal, right now they have to wait on ICE and ICE can't respond. So these officers will be trained as ICE officers.
He brought up recent cases where he says this training could have helped.
We did have a homicide recently where a body was dismembered. Didn't we have a sexual assault in which the suspect was?
Fields ultimately failed to convince the entire council.
So how are we going to make sure that we're not racially profiling people?
It's the federal government's fault that we're in this position. They're putting it on us again. They need to make legal immigration smoother. And that way they wouldn't have illegal immigration.
Me, as coming from a people that was tormented over 400 years, I can feel how they're feeling about this. And I just don't feel comfortable with this policy.
Yeah. So all of those individuals decided to change their vote after the Florida Attorney General came out and said, hey, what you're doing is illegal because essentially you are violating the state's ban on sanctuary cities. Okay, you cannot not allow the police to work with ICE to deport illegal immigrants because we don't allow sanctuary cities in this state, right? So therefore, your vote could subject you to some type of criminal or civil penalties, including, but not limited to, removal from office, because apparently Ron DeSantis, as governor, has the power to do that. Okay, so basically, these woke city council members, they ended up changing their mind real quick after they got the message from the attorney general, and now they have voted unanimously to allow ICE to work with police to enforce the immigration laws after backlash from the state. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Councilperson Watson?
Yes.
Councilperson Boucher?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. If there's no other business for this, it is 4:56 and we'll stand adjourned.
Not our choice. And you know it. We all came out here and we believe you guys will let us down.
Breaking news tonight at 6. You just heard the reaction after Fort Myers City Council reversed its previous vote and approved a plan to team up with ICE to crack down on illegal immigrants. Today, they voted unanimously in favor of allowing ICE to train city police officers. Good evening, I'm Kelly Burns.
And I'm Peter Bush. Dozens of residents spoke at the 3-hour emergency council meeting. A majority of the speakers were against the plan.
Your time is up.
Could I please have 2 more minutes?
No, ma'am.
I'm
Time's
staying
up.
on topic. Can I please have 2 more minutes?
Nico Torres, followed by Beatrice Castor, followed by Angeli Vasquez.
Local taxpayers would also
Ma'am,
have to foot
ma'am,
the bill for
ma'am,
legal
your
defense
time
when
is up.
officers
Time
are
is up.
inevitably sued
Shut the
or
microphone
detained.
off, please.
Fighting American citizens having their constitutional rights violated for the crime of being brown or bilingual.
Ma'am, you're disrupting the meeting.
City police are not immigration officers, nor should they be. Immigration enforcement is a complex federal issue requiring specialized training, legal knowledge, and resources that local departments simply do not have. Diverting police resources away from their core mission, protecting communities, weakens their ability to respond to violent crimes, theft, and emergencies.
I just don't even have the words right now to even express it fully. But that judgment, that decision you have to make right now, it's not just one individual. It's this whole city of Fort Myers.
I don't know if the council realizes that on July 18th, 2008, Officer Andy Woodman was shot and killed by an illegal alien. Almost 10 years later, on July 21st, 2018, Officer Adam Jobbers Miller was also shot by an illegal alien and passed a week later on July 28th, 2018. If the law was followed and these 2 illegals were deported as they should have been, Andy's children would still have a father, my daughter Nicole would have a brother, Emma would have an uncle, and I would still have a son.
Wow.
State Attorney General James Uthmeier responded immediately, simply saying, good choice. He threatened to remove counsel and launch an investigation if they didn't agree to work with ICE. Madison Adams is live outside Fort Myers City Hall. Madison, you're getting a reaction. Did council give a reason for why they reversed their decision?
No, Kelly, they did not give a reason, but today I spoke with residents who attended this meeting to voice their opinion. One of them is an immigrant from the UK, and he's in support of the training, while the other one was a woman who thinks that City Council had no choice but to vote yes.
I absolutely do think that they were forced to make this decision, both directly from, again, the governor, the state AG, and also the public pressure of the fact that they received death threats. Councilwoman Bonk discussed how the FBI had to step in to protect her and her family.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? The shame, right, the sad part is that it took all of these things. Again, I don't support death threats or anything like that. I don't think that's appropriate. But what I'm saying is that it's a shame that it took basically some nudging from the Attorney General and the Governor, Ron DeSantis, in order to get this city council to do the right thing, right? Because ultimately it was the right decision. I'm not sure why they even had any debate about doing it, right? If you have basic common sense, yes, police should be equipped to deal with illegal immigrants, especially considering how Joe Biden let a record number of illegal immigrants, some of whom are criminals, into the country, right? So when you have a record number of illegal immigrant criminals in the country, then yes, police are going to have to deal with them on a daily basis, and being equipped to deal with them is a good thing, right? It is good for the community. It is good for policing. It's just good overall for society in this country. But apparently liberals, they don't like this country very much, okay? And they want our country to be taken over by gang members from Latin America, okay? They want to turn our country into Mexico, right? That's what they want to do.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to have laws, especially when it comes to immigration. And it was very disturbing sitting in there and hearing many speakers talk about skin color, about how that profiles them as an immigrant. Nothing to do with skin color.
Yeah.
Council said that their biggest concern was that this agreement could be racially profiling or violate the Fourth Amendment. The Fort Myers city attorney asked the council members he recommended that they vote yes. I'm live here in Fort Myers. Madison Adams, Gulf Coast News.
Madison, thank you. The Florida Attorney General had said if the council voted against this training, the city could be considered a sanctuary city, which is against state law.
Yeah, this comes the same week that Punta Gorda and Marco Island city leaders also voted in favor of allowing ICE to train their local police.
So you seen that, you heard that, okay? It's a damn shame that these woke city council members had to be basically forced into doing the right thing, okay? It doesn't make any sense, okay? All that boohoo, whine, and cry, all those tears, but you weren't willing to pay the price for it, right? You weren't willing to actually be punished on behalf of the illegal immigrants that you claim you care about so much, right? That you claim you're concerned about them being treated like slaves were treated 400 years ago by the white man, right? Since you're so afraid of that, if you're so concerned about that, then why is it that you folded, right? Why did you fold, okay? I know why they folded. Well, they folded because they wanted to woke virtue signal, but they weren't really about their life in regards to defending what they voted against, right? They weren't really about that life, okay? And, you know, hey, a lot of people will find this to be controversial. Oh, they were forced to do it. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, okay, to make people do the right thing, okay, because democracy is not perfect. And clearly in that situation, democracy you know, is not working as well as it should be working. So therefore, you have to have people who know better to step in and to, you know, encourage the elected officials to do the right thing, right? And to use good judgment. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.